Finally. Yes. Oh, it's so frustrating. Oh,
What's up, dude?
it's just so frustrating. I was just getting so mad.
What the hell was going on?
I was just quietly seething as I was clicking. It was just a quiet room. Just
As you're loading like Internet Explorer 3 onto some old compy in the attic.
Oh my god. It was Chrome was mysteriously missing from my dashboard, and I couldn't. I just typed it in to open Chrome. It was still in my list of applications, and I click it and nothing would happen. It's like, well, shit. I get over here at 8:15, sat down here, was like, we're gonna get everything pulled up, looking nice. And no, that shit didn't happen at all. And I've been fighting Edge and Mozilla bullshit Firefox for the last 20 minutes. Fuck you, Edge. Oh, yeah, I thought it was not the wrestler.
Yeah.
I was
gonna start singing his theme song. Yes.
I can see clearly now. What's up, boys?
What's up?
How's it going?
It's been too long.
It's been a while.
I forgot what your voices sounded like. Oh, who's talking right now?
We're not gonna get the clap right.
Oh yeah. Good
Do I need to start recording now?
Go ahead.
Since we're a little behind.
Record that thing.
Yeah.
It's been clicked.
All right.
All right.
Hold on. I'm still opening mine.
On this day.
Hath been clicked.
All right. We want to clap them.
All right then.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Mine's way early.
It was fine. It serves.
No, it was early.
Oh goodness, there's so much to say. Let me get all my notes over here.
Yeah. So
Mine was just random observations, like guy with suntan, but you could see where he was wearing sunglasses all day.
Oh, shit.
So I mean, I have some brief thoughts on the non pay-per-view, like
on what's going on this week.
Yeah, last week.
I didn't know what's going on.
Yeah, I just
I watched last week.
I took some brief notes, and they start with Ronda and Nia is garbage, and then hot garbage. I wrote after that.
It was really awkward.
The promo is shit. The build up is shit. The booking is gonna have to be shit, or it's not gonna make any sense. I don't really have when else? Why is the champion making challenges?
That between the ropes thing I was listening to today was talking about how, like, if anything, they're gonna have like Stephanie screw Ronda and like continue that little feud going.
Yeah, and have Nia turn heel.
I mean, every time
coming back.
Every time that Ronda's been in the ring, she's had somebody to kind of shepherd her, and she's not going to this time. I mean, she had Kurt.
No more.
Yeah, she had Kurt and Triple H. Yeah, exactly.
Die.
Botch machine is what I wrote.
Yeah.
Who, Nia?
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the things that I was looking at about WWE overall is that they, despite what any of the fans of the numbers say, it's going to be their most profitable year ever.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little chunk just came their way.
It has to do
just $1 billion.
And also it has to do with just like they're focusing on investors. They're not focusing on viewers. And it's one of the reasons why the pay-per-views are going long now, because they're more interested in saying to investors that fans are watching more because the pay-per-views are going longer. That's the only reason that they're going longer.
But remember, Vince said, speaking about the NFL, people don't want to, sit and watch something for 3 or 4 hours. Okay, Vince.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now they're saying that the big four are going to be at least 5 hours long, and that's not even counting the pre-show.
I don't. You know what? I'm going to be living alone in a week. Like, I'll be watching so much wrestling now, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! We should save some of this for. We're using up.
I
all
know.
our
I was like,
ammo
are we just gonna like just
I
cut
felt
into
like I
us
thought we
talking
were.
this
I
week?
thought we were going already.
I know.
Right?
I was like, I guess we're not doing an intro, but I didn't want to like mess up what Tyler was saying.
Oh yeah, I'm just losing my mind. Sorry, it's been too long.
It's been like 2 weeks. Like,
Yeah. I had to get all
Built
that
up.
shit
We all
out.
got.
Yeah,
We all
I
got
got-
a sack full.
shake it out right now.
I got paper in my hands, boys.
Oh man! You're
Ready.
sitting at a
I
desk.
heard the
Are you wearing a
stacking
blazer? All right, everybody's all Destiny's recording. Good to go.
Yeet.
Excellent. All right, Tyler. I think would you say you're taking the helm?
Do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, I feel most confident with you doing it.
We're all just gonna be listening to Tyler tonight.
You saw it 5
Which is
times.
okay. Like,
I have like 6 pages of notes that I took.
I just wrote
figured
them on
I
my
could
phone,
just-
so I don't
that I could just condense down into just humorous anecdotes.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's-
Okay.
See
you
if we
guys
wrote
ready?
down any of the same funny things we saw.
Yeah, that's gonna be the good part. All right, guys, this is shoot show number 8. We are doing things a little bit differently this time, but all the guys are still here. We got Ryan Claire with us.
Yeah, man. I'm excited
got-
to watch to to
You
talk about
almost
my
sounded Jamaican.
yeah.
Come on.
Oh man, I did a little bit. I'm so amped to talk about my third favorite Tim Allen romp, Wild Hogs. This is a great day. It's a breath of fresh air for us.
Yeah,
Oh,
you might have
Okay.
gotten the text wrong, Ryan. I think
Oh
you
dear
might
God.
have-
I sat through a Martin Lawrence movie for nothing.
You typed up all those notes that you told me about.
It wasn't even Black Knight. Damn it.
So we've also got Sean Rosenthal with us.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
I am Double T, Tyler Toops. And that brings Skylar Blank.
I haven't really been watching a lot of wrestling this week, and I've just been reading a lot of comics, and I'm wondering what's going to happen to Hulk on Planet Hulk.
Aren't we
Planet
That's all I
Hulk.
got this
Aren't we
week.
all?
Skylar,
I
you
get-
always seem like the spotlight hits you and it frightens you.
It does.
Oh,
As soon as he says like the last person's name, my heart starts to pound. I'm like, oh shit! Everything I've thought of this week. What?
I
Call on
have
me.
something I want to bring. I just I felt like after the last recording felt like it needed to be said. Guys, we don't talk about Heidenreich enough. I feel like just hear me out. It's just more Heidenreich.
I mean the face paint,
Yeah,
the Nazism.
The
I mean
whole
he's
thing.
got it all going on. He's got the total
what
package.
flavor of
Whatever
Heidenreich?
happened to
That's-
him? Did he just like get released one day?
Well,
it was like
it's
he
funny-
took stuff and then nothing.
he took time off after like Hurricane Katrina, and then just never came
Why
back.
did he,
You
was
know,
he
Wait,
a
is that
vic-
real? Is that real?
Yeah, he went to go spend time with his family
wow.
because I think he lived there, and then just
Oh,
didn't.
I
come back.
thought
He's dead.
I have to
Like,
go home to Germany following this tragedy.
Well, you know what, guys? It's funny that you brought up Heidenreich
He's
because
from Ohio.
we've actually got another guest this week, guys, and we'd like to
Uh-oh.
welcome in Heidenreich.
Oh,
Oh
Not really.
no!
he's doing
it
it.
would have been the
Could you imagine?
Oh no! Oh, I was bracing myself. I was like, what, oh shit! Was that me? I think I did the effeminate German accent last.
We'd have to lie to try and trick him to get on the show.
Right.
Like yeah. Road Warrior's gonna be there. What? What? Hold on.
He's like, so this is the Hall of Fame ceremony, right?
Oh yeah, it's about damn time. Is all I got to say.
My poems were great.
I also have a little Skylar-esque soundbite, and it is that I think Big Cass now is Drew McIntyre the first time.
Aw.
Is
Too
it? I
sad.
didn't get to experience that.
They're pushing the look and not the talent.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'd agree with that.
Oh, big ass.
Yeah.
I don't know what to. I don't know. We don't know what to do with big ass anymore. What's he selling an injured knee now? Someone said he was spotted on
Yeah.
crutches.
I did see he was on crutches on TV. Yeah.
Do we think that may be little person related?
You think a little person got him in the knee?
I took you to church just there for just a
Sang
second.
spiritual, Aiden. That's right. I felt it. I felt it.
He assaulted the little man.
I almost
got
put out
country.
my apple.
That got weird country.
So that was Raw.
Oh, was that?
That wasn't even
That happened.
wasn't on Raw. Oh, the Rousey thing.
What even did happen on Raw? Who does? Do we? I don't know if
No.
we care that
I
much.
didn't even look
No.
up what happened, honestly.
I mean,
it's been
the biggest.
I
were
listened to
listeners,
another
right?
podcast actually.
Oh, wait a minute. The big standout face in hands moment I do remember was the Bobby Lashley Sami Zayn situation.
Yeah.
And
another
I don't know if
mess.
they just don't know really what to do with Sami Zayn right now as they're building Kevin Owens, I guess, for Money in the Bank. And I don't think anyone has ever known what to do with Bobby Lashley, but the least of which who
TNA kind of did.
I don't know why they let that go for so
it's like,
long.
least
Yeah,
Bobby
I don't
Lashley.
Was it like
understand.
20 minutes?
After he went through him the first time, then he went back to the first time. I'm like, no, why are we going back again?
Oh my god, it
Bad.
just stretched on
Ugh.
the whole sister gag. One of them had a helmet. This was the biggest problem I had with
Yeah.
One of them had a helmet, and Bobby Lashley takes the helmet, and I was like, oh, he's gonna bash the hell out of this guy with a helmet. That's legitimate. He puts the helmet on the guy's head and then punches him in the top of the head, and the guy goes down like a sack of potatoes. What? So, Bobby, you misunderstand how a helmet works. That's
Protection.
Somewhere Jim Cornette felt a great disturbance in the force.
Oh, what the fuck?
He woke up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Woke up in a cold sweat.
So I mean,
And,
I feel like we can just go ahead and go on.
Yeah.
Wait.
Ronda Nia.
Someone tell me why Joe and Daniel are facing next week. Did Joe say mean things to him?
No, because I think Big Cass got hurt, so they had to have a match with Jeff Hardy and Daniel Bryan, and then the winner of that got to fight Joe.
Oh.
And it's for the last Money in the Bank spot.
It's not really a prize. Okay.
It pulled the lowest SmackDown numbers of the year.
No kidding.
What? That match did?
That whole episode.
Whoa.
That's surprising.
Lowest viewership of the year.
Even though Lana,
Everyone's got
Lana
the
took
sour
her
taste
away?
from Sami Zayn and shit.
I think people.
They're
Yeah, I don't
feeling
know.
what I'm feeling right now.
Wait a
After
minute.
Backlash, I just haven't
Before we
wanted to
move
watch.
completely past Raw, Ronda and Nia, have we talked much about that?
It's a mess.
Well, no, we can't have because they haven't built it at all. It just
Why champions don't issue challenges? That's not really how it's supposed to work. I didn't
and they
think.
certainly don't sidle up with like this half soft smile, but like you're pretty good.
Hey, girl.
The way they did it was so awkward. I did see
Hey,
that.
girl.
last week.
I love that purse.
Yeah, it's like they challenge each other to a foot race, just
Bet
like,
you can't
hey,
do this.
maybe.
So awkward.
Hold
And-
my mimosa.
And I don't know, like Rhonda, after seeing that cell phone video of her doing a live show and with quite a bit of snap.
Yeah, that was an
got me-
awesome sequence she did.
Yeah,
it's
it wasn't
nice
bad.
chain wrestling, man. Like it was quick, it was snappy, it looked like legitimate groundwork. And I was like, okay, maybe they're finally gonna do something. And then she's on Raw with that same weird stern face. I'm gonna take your arm, bleep, blorp, bleep.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't really know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Ronda Rousey being scary,
I'm
and that's
being-
what I want.
I'm being overly sports entertained by her.
A little bit. It's I like cheese with my wrestling sandwich, but this is a little much.
Yeah,
And-
it's too much.
Like I was saying, there's no way if they don't have a DQ of some kind, there's nowhere to go with this.
I think the big
Right.
problem is that Ronda Rousey's getting overshadowed by people who she shouldn't be getting overshadowed by on paper. Like, I mean, if I've got an Ember Moon match and then a Ronda Rousey situation, I know who I leave happier with.
No
And it
doubt.
sure as hell is
Yep.
not Ronda Rousey.
But-
I'm all about me some Ember Moon these days.
I think in this scenario, it's going to be because of Nia, because we've seen what Ronda can do already.
Yeah, I got to think there's still Stephanie shenanigans in there, and Something will happen with that.
No, fist shake in the air at that
Yep.
Stephanie McMahon.
But that's not as important as Hog Wild, baby.
Oh, baby, we were
snap.
funking like a monkey. There's everybody piled into the Black Hills of South Dakota.
So here's gonna come in here. Dusty Rose gonna tell you about this boy. He's called Rey Mysterious. Bobby Brain.
Oh man,
That's the point of the whole. That's why we're all here today.
yeah.
Yes.
Dusty Rhodes commentary.
To
The
discuss this.
awesomeness, yes. The beautiful disaster.
God, it was like a monument to just American arrogance. It was beautiful and ugly at the same time.
It's so weird, yeah, because it's not bad. It's bad, good, bad, good, bad, good.
And there was a but when it was bad, it was bad.
Right. I was not excited to watch. I still watched.
Really?
And yeah, well, I mean, I had never seen it before. So like going through it was just like a hell of an experience. It was like watching a train wreck. You know, like I started it, I was dreading it, but then I couldn't look away. I couldn't stop.
It was interesting for me. This was like 1996, Hog Wild.
Hog Wild,
would have
1996, Sturgis,
6 years old,
South Dakota.
Yeah, it was a side. It was just before I guess I would have started watching it, my youngest, and man, it was sort of like seeing pictures of your family like before you were around, and you were like, you did your hair that way for how long? Like Eddie Guerrero looked like a completely
that mullet is amazing.
Very different.
There's some great mullets on display, and they culminate. The mullets culminate.
They build as
at
it
the
goes
very
on.
end. Yes, and this, I mean, it's a weird event because it has a. I mean, it's outside. First off, it is given to non-wrestling fans, and it was free. I mean, the people on the bikes just showed up on their motorcycles, just rode up. There wasn't seats. It basically was in a gravel pit. All the people you see sitting are sitting on motorcycles.
I had no idea it was free though. So this was totally like a Turner Flex and Nuts ad campaign.
This is 100% Eric Bischoff trying to pull a Harley deal.
Oh, it was Eric Bischoff behind
100%. Yep. Eric Bischoff had bought a house in I think Wyoming, and he had just kind of fallen in love with that area, and he was kind of like a weekend biker, and he wanted an excuse to go up there, and
he would be
Hog Wild, baby.
Oh God, he's that guy. He's that guy that's a little too old to hold his hair back with a bandana, but still does it. You know, it's just.
Did you not see that montage with the wrestlers?
Oh yeah,
and shit? He looks so happy,
like crazy, and he pops up like
so
crazy
happy
in the montage. Definitely. Somebody in production is trying to kiss his ass.
Sean
he was smiling and
Sean was watching the pay-per-view not worth just the montage though.
Oh, absolutely worth. Just for that, it was worth it.
Like Diamond Dallas Page, like mouthing to the camera. You can't hear him, but you know it's like just intelligible, even if you were 2 feet away from him. Just
jabbering,
flying down the road on a motorcycle.
My only thing was they sent their talent down the road going like 75 down the highway. None of them had helmets or anything.
No helmets, no.
Like they did not give a shit.
That's such a great point.
Like, what if they all, just a pile up and every one of you?
Yeah, Sting could have hit a tortoise going 70 miles an hour and took out the entire show.
Yeah,
I feel like Sting's could have bounced off his hair.
For sure.
Man, it was this. See, that's an interesting thing. As big of a Sting fan as I was growing up, this was right before his switch over to the Crow gimmick.
Yes, this is his longer hair.
Yeah, he had gotten away from the blonde crew cut, but still just as flamboyant and colorful.
So here's some fun things about this show that they had absolutely no provisions for if it had rained. If it had rained, they would have been 100% fucked. They had no way to cover that. So it's probably good that it didn't. Also, that they had the ring elevated so that the bikers could see it.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Okay.
I think
it had a great spot because of it, and it's just mad dangerous. And the wrestlers were getting handfuls of gravel thrown at them all night long.
I knew it. There were children front row at this freaking travesty throwing I knew it was.
Definitely.
It looked like the way a kid throws a handful of gravel.
Yeah.
I
And-
know that because I was a kid that threw a lot of handfuls of gravel. And just a
Not only
floppy
were
arm
there-
and it's quick.
Not only were there kids throwing gravel, but there were kids like not giving the finger, but they were giving, the fuck you arm gesture thing. There were
Yep.
kids in
It
the
was the
crowd doing that too.
'90s.
Ah, true. Okay.
Yep.
It was a
Waving,
crazier
waving,
time.
Man,
And they
speaking
were
of the
biker
crowd,
parents.
Yeah.
yeah, the
Did you
crowd
guys-
is its own monster.
did you guys draw any parallels with this in the Greatest Royal Rumble crowd?
Yes.
It was sort of like the
Definitely.
extremes of two very different demographics.
And again,
Like-
yeah,
But
non-wrestling
they acted
fans.
the same. Like no one really kind of gave a shit. Everyone was just kind of wandering around and doing
Oh,
their
no.
own thing.
Because
No,
they were
they
there
gave
for
a
different
shit.
reasons.
Yeah.
They gave a shit when there were competitors who weren't the same race of them. And
Yes.
It did surprise me that they were behind Eddie though. Like there was some Eddie
Yeah.
chance.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
no, I got plenty of Mexican friends. I went to school for. Hey, I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Look at me.
Because
I got
Eddie was
all
an
kinds of
idiot
Mexican
chant.
friends.
This is the first pay-per-view after the formation of the NWO at the Bash of the Beach that had happened previously. This is Hulk Hogan's kind of coming out party as a heel.
Okay.
Like,
See, I'd
he
wondered
turned-
how long
yeah.
the outsiders were around after the formation of the NWO.
Yeah, he had turned heel a month ago at Bash at the Beach, and this was his first kind of shot at getting the title for NWO.
Wow.
This is like
Yep.
the cover on the network is what made me not want to watch it. I was excited, then I saw fucking red and yellow Hogan, and I was like,
Hogan,
"Ugh."
yeah. I was
Hogan
like, wait a
on
minute.
Harley.
Isn't that
Wow.
supposed to
So
be
there's
NWO?
got to be an interesting story behind that marketing. Like, were they not told when they, 3 months ahead of time when they made this cover art for this event? It's like, yeah, put Hulk Hogan on there, a nice yellow, red
Yeah,
color
yeah.
scheme.
Yeah,
And
they
then-
couldn't know.
A month beforehand. So, well, that's kind of it's kind of in the past.
This
Well,
is a
that's-
thing
He's
now.
got a weird beard now.
Oh yeah, and that's what
He was growing
makes and that's what makes this event so crazy, because this was really the first time that you ever saw, other than the Bash at the Beach, the first time you ever really saw Hogan on a pay-per-view as a heel. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty important, and for them to have such an important pay-per-view in the middle of South Dakota was very odd.
to non-wrestling fans, and that's why they were cheering Hogan, because they didn't know any better.
Yep.
Man, and we apparently
Again, it was a bunch of bikers, and he looks like a biker too.
That song would get any biker riled up.
For real.
we missed quite the pre-show though. Like we all watched this
I
on
was looking that up.
we all watched this on the network, I guess the WWE network. It starts off with Rey Mysterio Jr. and the Ultimate Dragon, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Rey
So we
Mysterio and
missed
Ultimate
8
Dragon.
matches as listed on
What?
Wikipedia. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Public
Jesus
Enemy,
Christ.
Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge defeated Dick Slater and Mike Enos, who did not really. I mean, I didn't mind missing that one, but
Yep.
number two.
It ended with a good table spot.
Oh, did it? Okay, so you saw the pre-show.
Mm.
What kind of pirate sources do you have?
I
Don't reveal
remember
your
we're on
sources.
air.
Are you torrenting right now? The second match was Conan and Chavo
Ooh.
Guerrero Jr.
Ooh, I would have liked that.
Yeah, man, Bowdy and Rowdy, right? I was all about the Wolfpack growing up. And
That's right.
I don't know
This
if
was
I
horrible.
recognize any of these other guys. Nasty Boys defeated High Voltage.
You don't know the Nasty Boys?
Nasty
I don't know
Boys,
the
yeah.
Nasty
They're
Boys.
80s dudes.
Yeah, see, I'm out of my element, Donnie.
Yeah, Riggs.
Alex Wright defeated Bobby Eaton.
Oh,
In
Alex
30
Wright.
30
Alex
seconds.
Wright was the German Wunderkid.
I remember
Right.
his little video from the Thunder game on PlayStation 1.
Yeah,
I am
he'd be
Alex
like,
Wright.
"Yeah, you should pick me, yeah."
The
Yeah.
fifth match, Dungeon of Doom. The Taskmaster, Ming, who I do remember,
Oh yeah.
and the Barbarian. They defeated Joe Gomez, Jim Powers, and Mike Starr. 6-man tag match. They couldn't
Of
find a
no
way.
ones.
Man, WWE would have stacked that main show. It'd been
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours long. David Taylor defeated Mr. JL, and let's see, Diamond Dallas Page
Ooh.
defeated the Renegade.
The
let's see.
renegade,
Oh, Renegade.
fake ass Ultimate Warrior.
The He was a fake ass Ultimate
Yeah,
Royal.
holy
Oh
moly.
man, R.I.P.
That's
Man,
what
he
they-
died in
yeah.
1999.
Yep,
Oof.
just like well, he kind of had to.
Well,
Yeah,
you
well,
know, you try to be Ultimate Warrior, you're gonna die.
Yeah, if you do the Miz now thing.
And the final match of the pre-show looks like Arn Anderson defeated Hugh Morris.
mhm.
Well, for them promo and Ric Flair and Arn Anderson all show, they could have given us a little Arn.
Yeah, I missed that. He was nonstop talking about him and didn't even get to see him wrestle.
Man, Ric Flair was
Arn-
in love with
Wait,
Arn
Arn was
Anderson.
on the pre-show. I assumed he was hurt.
He got his ass kicked at the end.
Oh,
yeah.
That's why Rick was so upset the whole time.
That's
Oh, that
what-
was during the pre-show. Okay.
Mm.
Oh man.
well,
But it kicks off with Ray and Ultimate Dragon.
My favorite match of the night.
It's a high point
It's
for
pretty good.
sure. It's definitely a lot of fun.
I wasn't familiar with Ultimate Dragon. I thought they were. I was
Really?
like, ha, somebody messed up. They mean Ultimo Dragon.
yeah, me too.
They do. They do. They do. They just get their ultimate. I just think they didn't know back then.
Oh, was it? I thought they compared him at one point. No, there it is. Pops up on the old Wikipedia. I thought I was missing a completely different wrestler. Ultimate Dragon. That
Yeah.
seems a little close to play. WCW. Sorry.
Like I was saying, I
Well
mean,
knows, guys.
Dusty Rhodes kept saying Ray Mysterious.
Ray Mysterious.
Rey Mysterio, he bouncing around like a little monkey.
That's right. And listen here, punkahead. God, I love Dusty. Everything he says is great. It makes no sense, but it's great.
Yeah, in this match is where I noticed that big drop off on with the rain. I think-
This is the
Yeah.
only time
Yes.
that anybody bumps, and he bumps all the way to the ground, and that's crazy.
That was like my favorite spot of the night too.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Whoa.
Sweet baby Ray. He was like 22 years old.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
tiny.
probably been wrestling for 23 years.
Yeah. He has been a professional. I believe the commentator said, I don't remember who, but
It's like
he's been a
13.
professional since 14. Yeah.
14. God.
I believe it.
That was insanity.
And was just in the most recent Royal Rumble,
Yep.
the regular
greatest
Royal
one.
Rumble, not
The
the
greatest.
regular one. Was he in this? Okay, yeah. He was in both of them, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in both.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, he's
I got
usually
there.
appeared at Royal Rumbles, unless the crowd wants him to be Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Unless anybody but Daniel Bryan comes out, and then they're gonna get booed.
Right.
Yeah, I agree that match was definitely a high point. It got 3.25 stars from Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, it was a solid match.
Yeah.
How long has Dave been talking about wrestling?
Since like the
Jesus.
Since
early
Rey Mysterio was
1910s.
wrestling.
He and
Gosh.
Jim Cornette used to call matches together. If that like frames it.
Yes.
Really?
As teenagers.
Yeah. If anybody is listening to this hasn't watched the pay-per-view just yet, at 15:05, I believe is when it starts. Dusty Rhodes starts talking, and for the next 30 to 45 seconds, he's trying to recover. I don't know where he was started to go, but he is just like these guys out here just they come and give it their all. They give it all in the ring, leave it every time. In Sturgis, the Black Hills of South Dakota.
He was like he kept saying Sturgis.
Sturgis. I can't
Sturgis.
use lisp.
Is that a promise? Yeah, that's a promise term.
It was
Fucking Dusty, man. Dusty's
perfect,
amazing.
man.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
I mean,
love it though?
fantastic. And like I said, just nonsense, but great to listen to.
Yeah, that
Oh
one.
yeah, it was fun being able to hear him and experience the whole thing with him.
I was just
Yeah,
seeing.
I feel like he was in
cutoffs
his
worth
element.
He's those
Oh, yeah.
sick ass abs. We talked about
Yes.
how our
No, we have not talked about his sweet cutoff denims.
our on-screen personalities, our talent for the show.
Yes.
Where I mean, they were dressed appropriately.
Yes, Tony Schiavone is
fucking
is
Gene.
Did Tony
Tony
have
Schiavone
a
is
mullet, or
very
was he wearing a wig? Because his
Yeah,
hair
look,
looks
wait,
like
wait.
long.
it's a wig, and
Oh,
he's
God.
wearing like the Dominatrix starter kit. Or like the-
Like, why does
And
he
it's-
need to wear a wig? Like,
it's fake
I don't
tattoo.
understand.
That tattoo.
Oh, shit.
I couldn't stop staring at it honestly the whole time they were talking at the beginning.
And then Heenan's just dressed kind of like business casual.
Yeah.
It looked like a leather blazer. Like it was like a leather suit jacket almost. I only saw him a couple times, but man, Heenan was in rare form, just annoying the hell out of everybody.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and he gets progressively drunker as the show goes on.
Is that what was happening?
Oh,
Okay.
no
My
question.
God.
Is that why you rooted for the NWO at one point?
Yes.
That's why he was having trouble telling the Steiners apart.
Oh, that he totally was all over the place. And every single time somebody would go for a pin, he was like, "Oh, you got him." I was like,
Yeah.
"No, Bobby, he hasn't got him."
Finally, Tony's just like, "Would you just stop?" So
Yeah,
I
by
mean,
the
that,
end of the show, he cut him off.
that,
Yes, we'll talk
Yeah,
to you
you had
one
to.
day. I laughed so hard.
that great Rey Mysterio match led us into another fantastic match,
An
which
all-time
was
classic.
Scott Norton versus Ice Train.
Woo!
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That
I got
was
one-
shivers from the
it's
ice.
been-
It's been said by a greater man than me, but what's your favorite Ice Train match?
Mine was geez. I guess this one.
Yeah, see, mine's this one too.
It's the only one.
Mine's this one too. Yep, this one.
I have no idea who.
So yeah,
I
Scott
skipped that
Norton.
match.
Scott Norton and Ice Train had formed a tag team after having a match together that they earned each other's respect. They formed a team called Fire and Ice, and
Fire
they
and Ice.
had a falling out. And this was the result. Which this is actually a submission match, although I don't think they really ever say that.
No, they didn't, because I had no idea
No.
at least.
But Ice Train got beat up by the Giant on the pre-show.
Oh, is that why his arm was all wrapped?
Yes, he got beat
thought
up by
that was-
somebody. I think
I
it was
thought that was something
So many
from
people
each
get
other,
beat
like
up.
Scott Norton did it.
somebody beat him up beforehand. It wasn't Scott Norton, but Scott Norton definitely capitalized on it because he came up. Ice Train comes up bandaged up as hell, and Scott Norton pulls it down like a hockey player pulls somebody's jersey over their head. And Ice Train just kind of like gets his ass kicked for a while.
Oh,
Pretty
man.
much.
Ice Train. His name is Harold Fitzgerald Hogue.
Hey, that's my middle name.
Fitzgerald?
Yeah.
Damn, you got are you
Nice.
sponsored by the alphabet?
Yeah.
There's a lot of letters in your name.
Harold
Jesus.
I know.
Rosenthal. Man,
Yeah,
I
that's
want to. I just
a
want you to
mouthful.
be my boss with that.
Done.
Done. All right.
That's a thing now, yeah.
8 o'clock tomorrow on my desk.
So yeah, that's that one. After that match, there's a great commercial for the Hog Wild denim vest.
Dude, I'm not even exaggerating.
Oh my
I
god!
want you both to, or all three of you, to know how serious I am about this. I would kill a drifter for one of those.
I would wear the hell out of that.
Uh,
I would wear it, and I would refuse to explain it to people.
oh yeah.
So, hey, where'd you get that? And just look them steely in the eyes, like Patrick
Yeah.
Swayze in Roadhouse.
Sturgis, bitch.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah, all I wrote in my notes is "fuck, I want this thing."
Oh, I did too. Let me see what exact words I used. I would murder a stranger for one of those jackets. Okay, now it wasn't that much. But
Was
yes.
this after or before the phone number for the hotline?
This was before.
Okay, because I want to get to that, but well, I'll wait.
WCW.
Yes, Mean Gene is great. His outfit is great too.
And then I said, "Who the fuck dressed
Oh my
Mean
God.
Gene?"
Yes, it was so weird.
Yeah,
It looks like your dad's going to a theme birthday party. Like, it was so uncomfortable. He didn't want it. He didn't like it.
No way.
so that leads into the third match, which is just kind of the height of WCW pissing money away, which is Medusa versus Bull Nakano in a bike versus bike match.
I was actually surprised to see, at least female competitors on the show. I
Yeah,
wasn't
me
expecting
too.
it because I couldn't remember like really any in WCW.
Yeah, but I realized why they did it once Medusa came out in the
Yes,
red, white, and
exactly.
blue. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, that's
yeah.
I got it.
Yes, this is all just a really elaborate pandering excuse to have Medusa
Bring out
come
the
out on a
hot babes.
Harley,
Yeah,
have her
Oh,
come out on a
man.
Harley, and then have Bull come out on a Honda, and then beat up the Honda.
She looks American Gladiators as hell.
Like,
Yes,
Medusa does.
Sonny Ono came out with Bull Nakano, pulling his first double duty as a valet. All the valets, most of the valets on the show pulled double duty.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, going back to when he came out with the Ultimate Dragon, there's a point where they cut to him and he just subtly whispers, "Oh, American's so stupid." And then just like, what the? It blew my mind.
He's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like that exaggerated accent. I do remember that. It was
The crowd was getting riled up pretty easily. And you know, it
crescendos. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean this match was it had to. I mean, Medusa and Bull Nakano are fantastic wrestlers, and the match itself wasn't really bad, but it had the finish was confusing as fuck because Medusa won, but Bull Nakano stood up like she had won, and the ref did nothing to suggest who had won the match.
The refs did lost.
I feel like they should have. I feel like they should have explained that beforehand.
Yeah, they didn't. They did nothing. They were just like bike versus bike. Get out there, ladies.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. The best part of this match is that it gave Dusty Rhodes a reason to say nunchucks a bunch of times.
I'm okay with that.
With them nunchucks, baby. Get them nunchucks out.
I can't remember what Bobby Heenan said the nunchucks meant in Japanese. Oh, I wish I could. He offended several cultures that night, and it brought me no shortage of happiness. I love me some Bobby Heenan and his just lack of tact.
I mean, the crowd was chanting Harley during this match.
Oh, jeez.
So I think that just you know, but here's WCW just beating up a bike with a sledgehammer just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
You know, they've got a helicopter flying around for the entire show.
The entire show.
Pissing money away. Absolutely pissing money away.
It's like, so you want me to make a couple passes, right? It was like, yeah, for 3 hours. Hold
4
on.
to 5 hours, yeah.
Like, how many aerial shots do you need? You get a couple in the daytime, couple at night, and you're done, right?
Yeah, and even when they weren't using it, you could still see it in the background in all the shots. It was obviously there the whole fucking time. Yeah, that's what Skylar said. He was like, "It's not there the whole time, is it?"
Well,
we'd be like, no, keep watching. So yeah, after that, there's the Mean Gene, Sean.
Yes. So I thought it was so great. So they display the phone number, but over the phone number it says "Do not call." Like this phone number is not in service. Don't even attempt to call it. And then Mean Gene 1-800-994-3706. What the? Why even bother blocking it out at that point? Because who gives a shit?
Oh, he's so sexy in his outfit.
So these things are just shot, put together, and then plans change. Clearly, things got moved.
They also in that package they discuss the chat rooms that you can go into, and they show the Steiner brothers.
That was
just smashing at keyboards with closed fists.
They're just like apes. They're like, what?
Computer. Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about what the internet looked like in 1996. And I don't know if Scott Steiner could have got there. I don't know.
I would have given anything to see the other side of that screen.
Yes. And half of an Angel Fire page loading.
Yeah. It was just a word pad document. He's like just talking to himself.
It's just the hamster dance.
And I love it. It brought to you by CompuServe. That was great.
That's right. That's fresh. That is fresh.
Man, that was back when it was the net, the World Wide Web.
Yep.
And that goes into the fourth match, which was Dean Malenko versus Chris Benoit.
Who's that?
Man.
You meant redacted. He meant redacted.
Always versus.
Man, how do you go from this entrance music Benoit had to, like, in my opinion, one of the best cut-in music, choices in wrestling.
It was Our Lady Peace, right?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was.
In WWE, at least. I forget what it was in later WCW, but
it was just
I dug his theme song.
It was just a shrill, like, and it was a perfect cut in when somebody's talking that mess.
Are you talking about his WWE music?
Yeah, it's WWE music.
Yeah, those fucking chords when they would hit. I'd mouth it, but that's giving him too much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that bothered me in this match.
Yeah, Benoit came out with a woman, aka Nancy Sullivan, aka Nancy Benoit, and Miss Elizabeth, who is also both of them pulled double duty coming out later for Ric Flair as well, which is strange. I don't know.
That was weird.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Maybe because they were the Four Horsemen or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's. But this was a great match. I mean, it's just they know each other so well, and they do like the clasped arm kind of bridge up thing that they both did.
Man, that was
great.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. The thing is, like, then the match ended. It had time limit, and then it ended, and then the ref was like, okay, well, there wasn't a winner, so we're gonna give 5 more minutes, and the crowd cheered. Holy shit, we like the hell out of that. So they kept wrestling. 5 more minutes go by. There's not a winner. So the ref's like, okay, well, we got to have a winner. So we're going to do 5 more minutes. Fuck that shit. The crowd was done. They did not want that second.
I was fucking done.
Quick.
It was unnecessary. They should have had a finish at that point.
20th fucking pin attempt after like a clothesline. I was like, why in the 90s did they would like do like a clothesline and they'd be like, oh, time to pin him.
Like when a finish could be a scoop slam, though, they would just slam 1, 2, 3.
The simplest move, yes. I mean, they do it now, but I don't know.
As great of a match as that was, it degraded into just pin, close false finish.
There were so many pins.
So many.
I thought the ref's knees were gonna buckle. Like I kept on having to just go up and down and up and down. But I turned on that fucker too. I think that was Nick Patrick, and every single pin, he would put his hand underneath one of their shoulders to lift them up to tell them like, nope, this isn't the finish. Like I could not stand that shit.
He did the kind of slide under,
yeah.
I thought he was just like, it was a nice little. I'm just checking to make sure.
Right, that's kind of what he wants it to look like. But yeah, he was pushing shoulders up at some
points. He was literally like lifting them, like, no, can't end yet. Like, just let it fucking end, please.
I bet his hand hurt from slapping all those 2 counts.
Yeah, right.
I really forgot how Benoit had this beautiful viciousness about the way he moved. Like the way he could just do a snappy suplex and it looked like it destroyed, like it just caved in your neck. Yeah. He had that, what was it? Dragon suplex at the time he was doing. And it just locks the arms back and it's a back suplex. The neck is just craned unnaturally and he holds you for a pin. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. That was awesome.
This was the first time I'd seen a redacted match since that shit happened, honestly.
Really? Yeah, me too. I didn't realize it until he came out, and I was like, man, this is a little heavy, because it really was like the first time I had even really seen him since that.
The whole Benoit thing is what kind of led to my hiatus from wrestling. But man, every time I stumble on YouTube or something like this, stumble on some Benoit footage, I have that weird little moment where I'm like, Jesus, you're thinking about what he did, but then you start watching and you start remembering, and you're like, oh my God, he was good. He had this just
he was amazing
seriousness, and like, I don't know, it was this believable intensity.
Intensity is exactly the word.
Still a piece of shit,
himself. Still a piece of shit. Fuck him. But it was him. Like, he wasn't a character. He didn't have to do anything. It was just him.
I don't know. But I'm able to separate what he did from who he was as a person. We don't know what kind of injury that's a whole other subject for a whole other day. I want to appreciate Chris Benoit as much as I can, because he was one of the best we've ever seen. And just seeing him do that quick scoop slam that he did so often off like an Irish whip. They're standing and then they're on their back. It was one of the quickest scoop slams I've ever seen.
Yeah, and 4.25 stars on this one. This is the highlight for Dave.
Ooh. Yeah, for me it was a highlight for the night. It was my favorite match of the night, definitely.
Went on for 26 minutes. Like,
went on for too long. Yeah, I agree. Went on for too long.
But did you guys see that weird, like, almost Walls of Jericho that I think it was Malenko that put on Chris Benoit? It looked I think the commentary called it a Boston Crab, but he had his knee in the back of his neck the way Chris Jericho would.
Yep.
And it looked, it was deep.
Yeah, man of was it 1,000 holds? Man of 1,000 holds.
Yeah.
Dean
Yep.
Malenko. Something just makes me giggle when I look at Dean Malenko, and I don't know why.
He does look weird.
But, it was a weak finish for that match, though. I feel like it should have had a more satisfying ending, definitely.
Yeah,
Agreed.
it's unfortunate. It did a disservice to the
interference, right?
match.
Yeah, it was a woman interference to a roll up.
Yeah.
Yep. Me.
And that leads us into the next match.
Oh boy. Oh god.
So man, what an alert crowd to boo the next team for their effective heel work.
Oh yeah,
Steiners
they were being
Harlem Heat. And the funny thing is, so the Steiners come out, and the crowd doesn't really care.
Yeah, no.
And then
Harlem Heat
think
comes out, and that's when the crowd decides that they want the Steiners to win.
Yes, I said they popped the
Fully
loudest for the Steiners like the whole match, as loud as they were the whole night.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I feel like Scott Steiner looks older here than he does when he started, shaving his head and had the goatee. Like he looked old as shit. Yeah,
he is thick here.
He really is.
He's as thick as Rick here.
Oh yeah.
And usually he was the smaller. He was definitely the smaller of the two. He's already on the road to being Big Papa Pump.
Yoked. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just thick. Rick was always my favorite Steiner, and I was always sad that Scott took off and not Rick. But Rick was too sweet.
Yeah, the dog-faced gremlin.
Yeah. This match gave me so much fucking anxiety because I legit thought one of them was going to get shot. I swear to God. I had a hard time watching because I thought someone was going to get shanked.
The crowd participation did kind of spike when Harlem Heat came out. I just can't imagine what variable may have led to that.
I don't know.
I think it was because they were wearing red.
Yeah,
they did such a good job.
Always because they're from the city, and this is a more rural. They're urban. Maybe that was it.
I saw every time Stevie Ray looked at the crowd, there was for some reason a Confederate flag popped up almost every time. It was weird.
And that's what I was laughing about. Like in South Dakota, what the hell are you doing with a Confederate flag?
Yeah,
that's fucking practically Canada.
Remember those bikers came from far and wide, so
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, idiots come from all over the place. The Harlem Heat were doing a fantastic job of working this crowd, though.
They really were. With Booker T putting his hands over his ears, it was.
And Sherry looking like she was trying to stop them. I mean, they were definitely. You could tell that they were angry, but they were playing the crowd too.
That's right.
It was a fun match.
Yeah, I mean, it ended with, and it was another fuck finish. Yep. It was a double powder throw and a cane getting broken over somebody's head.
That was possibly an accidental hit to. I think it was Booker T that took the powder in the face from his own accompaniment.
Yeah. And then they had to throw a second handful. So
yeah, they had to bust that gimmick cane across his head. Oh my God! I hope
probably
it was
doesn't come. Yeah, probably doesn't come close to the amount of handfuls of gravel that were being thrown.
True.
Oh yeah, once Harlem Heat came away with a win, water bottles were flying. I'm the most type individual.
Those weren't water bottles.
Oh God, I hope. There's a little yellowish tinge to a couple of them.
Oh God. No.
And after that match, we got the fun montage we were talking about earlier with all the bikers, all the WCW guys on the bikes. We got Sting looking his most Brian Bosworthy.
True though.
Like all of them looking tough, and then just a shitload of shots of Bischoff because he liked bikes, and people in production. Obviously, you want to show the boss.
To be fair, Eric Bischoff was looking sexy as hell on that bike. Let's all be honest with ourselves.
That's true.
Agreed.
He was. After that, we got what is possibly also the best match of the night. Which was
this is my favorite match.
Eddie Guerrero versus Ric Flair. I mean, for fuck's sake, like that's star power right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if Benoit was my favorite of the night now. I forgot all
Yeah.
about
And
some of the
it's
moments.
funny because, as I was saying, like Heenan is burying Eddie before the match even starts. Like Heenan is talking shit. Yeah, and it blows my mind that it's kind of representative of that old guard that it was like, oh well, let's talk up Flair and talk down this other guy, when it was like, man, they did not know what they had at that point.
Oh man, no.
I mean, Eddie was a goddamn superstar, and this match was great. They hit all the great spots. Rick did that amazing thing where it took him like 6 steps to get knocked out, and then he fell forward.
The Flair flop.
Oh my god, that's so
classic.
one of my favorite.
Did you guys
all-time
catch Flair's line as he made his way to the ring? These girls already got a holiday ride right here, 1200 cc.
He's the best about talking about his penis.
So great. Yeah.
But yeah, young Eddie was looking snappy, man. He bulked up as he got older. Was just insanely powerful. But this era Eddie had that full leotard and that sick ass mullet that gave him such power.
I love his mullet.
Yeah, his mullet is amazing.
Couple that with that mustache, and you can't touch it. Like I would willingly get my ass kicked.
And like we were saying, the crowd, like there were Eddie chants going. I mean, the crowd was behind him for sure. Like there were definitely people who knew who he was.
It was very weird.
It was very weird.
Kind of agree, because this was literally the match after the Harlem Heat match.
It was shocking to look at the crowd and only see one demographic. Like you don't often see that. It was just the same white people like copied like in a video game where they render like 30 at a time.
Yeah. I wish I would have had the time.
Had a do-rag on.
I wish I would have had the time to take fun stills of people in the crowd, because they're the people with like the where they just had like the tan outline of the goggles on their face, or just blasted out looking
guys.
people.
These people were the people that order like Wolf memorabilia. They get the things. Did you ever look at like Outdoor Life magazine? Field and Stream. There are those. Yeah, there are those things in the inside of the magazine. Those advertisements for those wolf figurines or like vaguely Native American themed little knickknacks. Like they buy
every
that.
Person in that crowd owned one. Yeah,
and they have big blankets hanging up on the wall with like wolf prints, just stained by years of menthol smoke. That's the. And they made the worst signs that I've ever seen in a wrestling crowd. Tiny text with glitter. What the fuck is this? That's not what
They were passed out to them.
Do you really think that may be? Except it looks like it was made by a elementary school student. On the way there.
I liked when they would show them revving their motorcycles, which they did incessantly throughout the show, and then they would show like the people standing behind them, and it's just like, oh, I bet that's fun, getting fucking blasted with like hot fucking motorcycle smoke for 3 fucking hours.
Sir, your exhaust is on my thigh. If you could please not rev it for just a little while. That it was like somebody got permission, like somebody tried to rev in place of cheering and they were okay with it, so it was like, well shit, I'm gonna start doing that. And it got deafening by the end of the night.
It's pretty crazy. It definitely, and it was its loudest during the Harlem Heat match for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
But yeah, I think the next up was
oh wait, hold on, the finish to that Flair Guerrero match was weird. I don't know if I've ever seen. We always see when someone's locked into a figure 4, shoulders are flat back on the mat, and then you start getting a pin, and they always kick out of it or lift a shoulder. This is the first time I've ever seen someone actually take the pin from a figure 4.
Just lay there and do nothing.
Yeah, that was weird to me. I was wondering if that was like a thing that happened in the 80s and 90s or not.
And also, Rick had woman pulling on his hands. Like, I don't know how the fuck that would do.
No, that's leverage. That's leverage.
I guess. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Well, it's just physics. Like when they
lock in. There's a fulcrum.
Even someone as recent as Seth Rollins, when they lock in a figure 4, you have to nod your head viciously up and down so your hair. If you don't do that, it doesn't hurt as bad. You have to do that.
I like when in wrestling, when they twist their arm behind their back, and then the guy's reaction to that is to slap his own shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow. Ow, ow.
Yeah, and so Flair won and retained the
U.S.
one of the titles. Yeah, U.S. title.
U.S. Yep.
U.S. title. Next up was the tag match between Sting and Luger and Hall and Nash.
Well, I think before that we got a like what didn't Giant cut a promo?
Yeah, he did.
That was my
weird
first
promo.
my first look back at Sexy Giant, man. I forgot.
He was thin as fuck.
Yeah.
He was like 24 here.
Yeah, 23, 24.
He had won that belt a week before due to kind of a technicality against Hogan. And he was in doing that, he became the youngest champion WCW had at that point.
Wow, man.
Probably
yeah,
ever.
he looked great and he delivered a hell of a promo and it actually got me excited for the match and we can
and then you saw the match
later. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the tag match, I mean that tag match was mostly Sting. Like Lex Luger shit.
Oh man. I had a note. Why didn't Lex Luger in quotes happen? And it was stuff like
they needed a new Hulk Hogan.
Stop trying to make Lex Luger happen, Eric.
Stop trying to make it happen. Please.
One of the things that got pointed out to me by OSW is that Lex Luger always makes grunts whenever he does anything, and once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Like everything is just.
Oh God, no! I don't need another. My girlfriend pointed out that every time.
When's the next time you're gonna fucking see a Lex Luger match?
That's true.
Coming up
on the next time you make us watch
review.
a WCW pay-per-view.
2 weeks from now, when I pick out another one.
Yep.
What can I just say? Anytime I see half face painted Sting, because when I first started like seeing wrestling and remembering it, he was already Crow Sting. Anytime I see anything before that, I'm like, that's not my Sting.
Yeah, I did not expect that.
He was. I think he had recently ditched the Surfer. I think this was just in between, like you're saying, the Surfer and
Crow Sting.
Well, it caused me some distress with Sting. I love Sting. I always will because I was such a fan growing up. I don't think I would have been as big of a fan, if at all, if not for the Crow gimmick.
Exactly. Yeah.
As he got away from that kind of more sullen, kind of mysterious character, I didn't like him as much when he was still dressed as Crow Sting, but then he'd get on the mic and be the same Sting as he was in the early '90s. It was a weird clash, and it seemed like I never really liked it when Sting was on the mic or really doing much talking. And I don't know. Watching this again, I was like, am I a Sting fan? Or was I just a child?
Well, yeah, don't use this.
Just a Crow fan.
Yeah. You're just a child.
Don't use this match to try and answer that question.
Yeah.
I can't even fucking remember who won this match.
The Outsiders.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
They're pushing NWO to the moon.
That's right. That's right. This was the ref turning heel. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that push. Yeah.
Yep.
Nick Patrick again.
Yep. The ref turning heel.
I was gonna say that ref looked familiar. He's still
Guys,
isn't he?
I have a theory that Nick Patrick is Nick Patrick Sr. And we all know that there is the referee currently working for the WWE who has a son named Nick.
Oh my God.
Nicholas!
And I feel like the two may be connected.
Disconnected.
If I so help me God, if
we already brought up Heidenreich. We don't need to bring Nicholas into this.
All right, I'll cut her short. Nicholas, putting you on watch, young man.
Yeah.
If your dad did this to Sting and Lex Luger and then turned around, gave birth to you, and you did what you did to us, your whole family. Your whole family. I'm gonna generations use like North Korean prison camps. Let me tell you.
Listen, I'll say what needs to be said. Fuck you, Nicholas. Fuck you, Matthew. Let's keep going.
Oh,
boom!
Promo.
It's Dr. X. It's Dr. X.
It is. So that brings us to the main event.
Yes, it's here.
The main event, boys. The main event. This got negative 1.5 stars, by the way. Jesus. That is not a joke.
Oh my God.
What's that? Hold on. You said negative. A match can get negative stars.
Yes. Yes.
Apparently.
I'm
A match
so
can
glad-
get
Just like every other Hogan match. That's what I
a
don't
Hogan
get it, though.
match in the years to come gets -5 stars.
Jesus.
Oh
What
god.
match against who? Kevin Nash?
Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, of course.
I'm pretty
Oh.
sure I'm pretty sure he gives that one Ultimate Warrior at like or it's a Halloween Havoc.
Oh.
It's a lot like this
No,
one. It's the same
isn't
kind
that
of
the
Hogan
Halloween
thing.
Havoc where? Oh no, I'm thinking of like when he kills the giant on accident.
It's the same kind of. It's the same. At this point, Hogan has the same kind of matches.
Yes.
Exactly the same kind of match.
Punch, leg drop.
Test of
Yep.
strength, rest hold bullshit. It takes him fucking 45 minutes to get into the ring.
There was a
Outside
top
the
wrist
ring,
lock
yes.
that lasted for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I knew me looking at my phone, I wasn't missing much.
I seriously got bored, looked at my phone, read like a couple things off a Reddit thread. Looked back, they were still in the same wrist lock. And okay, man. Like I know Giant can do it, and I know Hogan could do it at least at one point, you know, according to my young mind. And then I started to doubt everything. It's like,
Yeah,
is this how he always was?
right. That's what I was saying too. Like, was he always this bad? Like, I really didn't think at this point that it was that awful, but it was.
But at the same time, it's impressive because the man is all charisma. And
Well,
once he got on the mic, you forget about it.
Yeah,
The funny-
after that, you know, I mean, we can go into the after portion too, but I mean, that part was great.
Yeah.
The match itself, not so much.
It's funny because this, like I said, this is the first time that this is really like the NWO kind of being a thing with Hogan, and he is the most at this point he's the most despicable person on the planet. You know, he's turned on people.
Yeah.
He's and the crowd cheers him like a motherfucker because they're not wrestling fans, and they're like, holy shit, it's Hulk Hogan. Eat your vegetables, whatever. Like I know that dude.
You take your vitamins, say your prayers.
Yep. And so they cheer him, and they really shouldn't be cheering him. Like they want him to win, and that's not what WCW is going for.
Dude, I was like, I must have come in because this had to have been around the time I started watching wrestling, you know, in the very first place. Because I remember Hogan being freshly turned and being just, I mean, hook, line, and sinker. Like I hated Hulk Hogan. I loved him because of the old things I had seen and heard, and like. Well, there was one wrestling tape I had when I was younger, and it had some classic Hogan on it. And from that, I built this image, and then almost immediately it's torn away from me, and I hated him. He got me.
Yep.
I agree.
And they did a really good job. And you know, if the fans would have been booing him, it would have worked better. But yeah, whatever. I mean, Hogan doesn't sell for shit.
No.
The giant misses boots left and right, which is, I mean, he's just young at this point. Like they threw the title on him quick.
Yeah, he was super green, but it was nice seeing him not have to like lumber around or have to do a heel turn or a face turn or a heel turn or a face turn. So,
well, and yeah, and you don't have to wonder why he's lumbering around now with the way that he dropped straight down to his ass, the way he was taking bumps. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah, it was rough.
It's crazy to think. Yeah, he was taking bumps hard.
Yeah,
and this was another one that ended in a fuck finish.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a lot of interference finishes, a lot of dirty finishes all night. That whole scene got really weird as night fell. Like it seemed like everything started to fall apart. The crowd started looking more sinister in the darkness.
There was a point when right before the main event where Bobby Heenan said that there were 300,000 bikers there. 300,000 people in attendance.
I remember that. And I was like, he must mean it. Yeah, I was gonna say he must have meant the whole thing, not just
Bobby, look around. And did you guys notice at the beginning of the main event they had with that sweet ass Turner money, they had Michael Buffer out there.
Michael Buffer,
he used to be there all the time.
Expensive. He was expensive back in the day.
He was doing boxing, and 90s boxing was money.
And he didn't even give a shit enough to have it shit memorized. He was just reading it off a card.
Oh man! Yep. And what was the biggest kick in the teeth? is that the crowd was revving their stupid motorcycles.
Oh my
over.
god, that got so annoying.
Somebody in an office somewhere was like, I paid $250,000 to have Michael Buffer stand in that hive of villainy and call the main event
in
of
a
this match.
in a
And they
suit.
drown him out with their Harleys.
Do you know how many whores and peanut butter I had to get Michael Buffer here?
Oh man, he sounds great. I am a hashtag Team Bruce Buffer though.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
Same. Yes.
I always said I wanted to see a sitcom based on their life growing up.
Oh god, the
Like
the
the-
paint is chipping off the walls.
The buffer zone. I
The
imagine.
buffer.
Oh,
zone.
yes.
Right
It
a
wrecks
treatment.
Yeah.
Get it going.
Imagine this. I mean, it's like I said, it's typical Hogan. I mean,
Yep.
he takes forever to get into the ring. Once he does, he wants to do the test of strength. Once that's over,
Always.
then they do. I mean, they just do rest hold after rest hold after rest hold, and then the outsiders run in.
Yes, Scott Hall with
That
a
sums up
oddly
WCW.
hesitated top turnbuckle
Right.
climb. Gets tossed in. I forgot how huge Scott Hall was. Like Kevin Nash
Yeah.
was built big guy, but Scott Hall was lanky. He had that
Yeah.
long muscle that's scary. Like you don't expect the strength guys like Scott Hall have, but to do his finisher, he had to be.
And then so Big Show still takes out, or Giant still takes
Giant.
out. Yeah, sorry. Giant still takes out
Careful.
Hall and Nash, and then Hogan hits Giant with the belt and murders him.
He
He did.
He is down for
He died.
good.
He's
He
died. He's passed
Yeah.
away. That's-
That's the first time he died in WCW,
That's-
not to be the
yes.
last.
Man, speaking of difference in Giant and Big Show, Giant had this weird slow music coming out that was almost like Undertaker-y, like they were building a monster, and I
Yeah.
just couldn't help but think how much I loved Big Show's music.
Yes.
Right. Anything else isn't right.
Well, it's the Big Show.
It fits
I
him
was mad
so
when they
much.
changed it to his where it's like, where? I hate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, they did. It was a subtle change, and I didn't care.
As sung by
Yeah.
Scott Stapp.
But yeah, I had a note from that match. Just why am I so bored? And thank God.
Yeah.
he was the
Yeah, so I was so bored during it.
Wait.
I had to Google like when they finally spray painted the belt, and I was like, man, when did that even happen? That was classic. And I look up, and they're spray painting the
There
belt.
it is.
So, oh,
That was an iconic
we're
moment. It was a
forgetting-
cool moment to see, and it was
It
kind of
is.
all worth it just for that shot of Hulk
And
Hogan holding that belt like that.
And that is, I mean, that's the classic belt. That belt, like I was saying, that belt's from probably like 85 or 86. Like that belt had been around forever. Like that
Man.
wasn't a prop.
yeah,
That was
the
it.
real
Yeah,
deal.
Dusty said it was like it. I know he was working up the angle, but he was like to see that title, desecrated. I don't
Yeah.
remember his exact words, but it was. These guys do. Even though we're all smartened up by now, they do work hard to get to that title, and it is a huge gesture that I've never seen. Has there ever been any kind of high profile desecrating of the title before this? Was that kind of the
Yes.
first?
It happened.
John Cena put a spinner on it.
Uh,
Yeah.
Wait, guys, we're forgetting about the booty man.
Well, yeah, no, that's how we're gonna cap this whole thing off.
oh yes.
Skylar, who comes out?
Well, we get a Brutus the Beefcake appearance, and then I
That's
put
right.
who's called Booty Man?
That's right.
Is that what I thought I was misunderstanding them?
That is
No,
Brutus
they-
the Barber
no.
Beefcake, aka Booty Man, aka the
The Booty
Zodiac,
Man.
aka Ed Leslie, who had, if you look him up, he had like 18 fucking gimmicks.
Clearly, you just listed like 5.
But
Just off
yeah,
the
the
top
most-
of your head.
The most important one was friend of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, best friend.
This now this
Also
was
wore yellow in the 80s.
this was supposed to be X-Pac.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yes, this was going to be X-Pac
That
coming
would've
back
been way better.
as 6, and he was in rehab, so they had to grab whoever they could, and they went
The
with
Booty Man.
yeah. Hulk Hogan turned to his left and was like, "Hey,
Why are you always here, Brutus?
you want to get your ass kicked, brother?"
Poor Brutus.
I just like how he was talking about we don't like mix friends and business. So I'm like, I thought Scott Hall and you guys are friends.
Yeah, like wait a minute.
Like, what's going on?
And we talked about a few different mullets through the night, and this absolutely is the pinnacle. The mullet
Oh,
that
yeah.
Booty Man has
Are
is
you naming
amazing.
mullet of the night right now?
Yes, mullet of the night. I'm
Mhm.
calling it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Booty
Listen,
Man.
Booty Man at 1996's. How I keep almost saying Wild Hogs. I've been trying all night not to say Wild Hogs every single time. Hog Wild. I keep
Ugh.
seeing John Travolta's defeated face.
That probably would have been better than I don't know. Both were a train.
Check our Patreon for our bonus episode about wild hogs.
Wild
I definitely didn't get tired of hearing revving engines all night and helicopters.
No. Yeah, what a trip, guys.
Yep.
That
Yep.
was something else.
It's fun, I think, to go back and look at what they considered acceptable.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, it's good to look back at history's mistakes just so it doesn't repeat itself.
Never go to a biker rally for breakfast.
Yeah, let's leave
Yeah.
this back with
Yeah.
apartheid and apartheid. I
But-
said that wrong.
I do think we should continue on looking back. I think this was really fun, and whether it's old WCW pay-per-views or WWF or WWE pay-per-views, I think this is something that we'll probably try and continue.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. I
love-
love watching these.
Yeah, it's certainly a breath of fresh air to see, where things came from, at least, or where it was evolving at that point in time. Like it was a long trip back to 1996. Like I
Yeah.
didn't
It
realize
felt even
I was 4
farther
years
back.
old.
It felt even farther back than that when Harlem Heat came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My roommate was in the room when they came out, and he's all like, "Hey, it's the fucking police chief from The Crow, to Booker T," which he does look just like that guy with that short hair.
True.
That's a really specific reference.
It was-
It's the fucking
It's the dad from Family Matters.
No,
Oh,
no,
Reginald Vell Johnson. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I'm a big
Okay.
Reginald Vell Johnson.
he was in The Crow. He was the cop in The Crow.
They said Booker T looked like
Yes.
roommate.
You just got a
proud
glimpse
at
of him real
1996's Hog
Well,
Wild.
there's a fun Photoshop opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Lieutenant Al Pallings. He was in Die Hard too.
Yep.
Let's keep talking
Okay.
about him. No, wait.
Yeah,
no.
just-
Yeah.
Our next
I'm gonna
Reginald Vell
talk.
Johnson episode. Did you know Family Matters was supposed to be a
I love that
spinoff?
show.
Yeah, starring Harriet. It's supposed to be about Harriet.
What?
Okay.
Also, they had
mom?
a younger daughter that just kind of disappeared.
Judy. She
Yeah.
disappeared like what, season 4?
Wait,
What are we
Actually-
doing? Steve
yeah.
Urkel is killing
Actually-
cast member.
Steve Urkel murdered her.
Leo White has a
Yeah,
body.
that's
list,
probably
I
right.
promise you, he's got skeletons. Nobody grows up both that dorky and that handsome at the same time. Looking at you,
True.
Stefan. Or
I like the idea that because of this, we can now kind of pair this episode with we talked about a pay-per-view and Family Matters conspiracies.
yeah, that's what it's all for.
They go hand in hand, you know.
At the bottom of my notes, shoehorn in obscure reference for description.
And also, if we list that, people are going to have to listen to the whole fucking episode to hear us just kind of glass over it.
Yeah.
Make sure to stick around for our conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Urkel killed his neighbor, whatever.
Just one of them.
And he says, did I do that?
Can I talk about one thing from when I went to NXT last week?
Oh
Yes.
God! Yeah,
Yes,
we didn't
yes,
even
yes.
ask our own Skylar. Got a
You're
wrestling
horrible. No.
experience.
Hold on,
My
he's still
favorite
there.
thing of the night was probably Street Profits is now my favorite tag team in NXT.
Wow.
And they were so fun. My favorite part of the night was they were facing some dudes that I don't even know, and the dudes from Street Profits kept doing waist locks like the whole time, and the crowd just kept being like, "Waist Lock City!" Clap, 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 clap. And then he comes out with like a fucking solo cup, and everyone was cheering for the solo cup, and it was great.
Yeah, that's their gimmick, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like their solo cups.
yes.
Good for
It's
What?
Yeah, Montez Ford is one of them, I think.
Yeah.
One of them's married to Bianca Blair or
Oh,
Bianca Belair or whatever her name is.
Nice.
That sounds like a porn star name. Definitely.
But there was no Adam Cole or Aleister Black, and I was so fucking pissed.
Yeah, that sucks.
Damn European
Next
tour.
time.
whatever the
That means you have
excuse
to. It means you have to go again.
yep.
Yeah, I would. I just hope next time it should be fucking illegal for someone taller than 6'2" to be front row somewhere. That's all I'm gonna say. You should never be able to get front row seats if you're above 6'2".
Agreed.
Oh man, yeah, coming up. Me and the girlfriend are going to Raw on the 11th of June. I'm hoping I get to
Nice.
touch Baron Corbin's hair grease.
Nice.
Ugh, gross.
I hope he stands near you and just kind of whips his hair back and you just get streaks of grease.
Oh
You
man,
better
I
like
hope you.
so
I hope
hard.
you go to touch it and just get a handful of bald.
Yeah.
Oh, handful
Yeah.
of ball.
Just sweaty, wet head.
I hope you go to touch
Yeah.
it and it shatters in your hand like glass.
He looks like when a dog comes in when it's been a light summer rain and there's that weird stale smell on their fur. That's what I feel like Baron Corbin smells like.
Yeah, sadly agree.
I'm proclaiming myself as a Baron Corbin fan now.
After
realized-
you just said you think he
Yeah.
smells like wet dog.
Hey, that's what I look for in a
Loud.
wrestler. I don't need that. I don't need a fragrant wrestler. I'm looking for a heel.
Probably
And I realized
my
that-
wife,
Yeah, I
when she
dislike him
touched
for the
Roman
right
Reigns'
reasons.
hair, yeah, right. When my wife touched Roman Reigns' hair, she touched it, comes back to me, puts it in my face, and goes, "It's baby oil." Like,
Oh.
okay, great, thank you. So that happened in my life. Thanks, babe.
That'll infect you with a deficit that you just can't shake off.
Yeah, no, forever. But now we know that's what's in their hair.
And yeah, ever
sign
since
is
then,
like,
you've-
why is his hair so wet. So
That's why you wake up screaming that.
Oh yeah. Baby oil.
No, not another Superman punch.
The baby
Unleash-
oil's getting in my eye.
Unleash the big dog.
No, that's during the bed.
That fucking shirt. You talk about that.
Fuck
Yeah,
that
Roman
shirt.
Reigns has a shirt that I can't wait to buy.
Unleash the
yeah.
big dog.
Ugh.
Now, in all sincerity, I just got my Mower of Lawn shirt, and I've never been sexier.
You
Nice. I
haven't
saw that
taken it
picture.
off since you got it, have you?
Yeah, I saw that picture you posted. Where you said
Oh my
people were
God.
just getting distracted by it.
Yeah, I work in the some people don't believe me sometimes. I work in like a fashion studio. I shoot mostly products for a retailer's website, but I have to walk past hair and makeup. And we had to work a Saturday. And I walk past hair and makeup. There's like models sitting in the chairs and everything. I usually just stare. I'm terrified of feeling like a pervert by ever even looking at the models. I shoot fashion sometimes, like I have to tomorrow, but like it's
You close your eyes when you take the picture.
well, no. I feel like if I
Hope for the best.
belong there, it's okay. And I
Right.
don't they're not gonna think I'm creepy. But if I'm walking across the studio and I'm leering at them as they're getting their makeup, I was like, who is that guy? Here. But I saw 2 double takes at the shirt because it admittedly vexing when you just glance at it. And
Mower of lawns. What?
I hope
Who
even
is
more
that
of
man?
them looked at it as I walked away, and you just see the big delete. If you haven't seen the shirt, it's Matt Hardy with arms wide open, Creed style, sitting on a lawnmower.
Whoa. That is 2 Creed references. That is enough.
Yeah,
Oh my
crap.
God, I gotta hit my Scotch tap. And 6 feet. Anyway, he's on the lawnmower, and it says "mower of lawns" on the front, and on the back, all it says is "delete," and it's perfect. And I
Beautiful.
hope that I just confused people because it doesn't even say WWE on it. I love it. It's just it just stands alone.
Yes. Doesn't Matt have like he's got one hand on the wheel and one hand off just in the air?
Oh, I thought he
I
was.
think both are in the air.
Or
I
are they
think both
in the
are
air?
in the air because he looks
Yeah.
like he's in the middle of a yeah.
I need to look it up. Yes. Oh, it's great. Yes, it's fantastic.
I recommend everybody picking one of those bad boys up. Wear them to Easter or the next family function, whatever you got.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well,
Whew. Well,
On that
good
note,
shoot
I
show,
think-
guys.
yeah, I
feel
think
like
that's
I really
about it,
talked
guys.
about Matt Hardy's shirt for too long.
It went
that's-
on longer than my NXT experience.
No, I got really excited. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
good
so
sh-
that's
You guys
it.
gave me like 3 minutes, and he got 5 minutes for Matt Hardy's shirt. What the fuck? No, I'm just kidding.
Again,
Yeah,
check,
well,
the,
gotta go,
check the
guys. Sorry.
Patreon.
Yeah.
Check.
But yeah, guys, I think this was the first time we can assign the shoot show being somebody else's show. That was the shoot show this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just adjacent to a shoot show.
Big steaming shoot show.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We just had to tell you about it.
Man,
Well,
yeah, hopefully we'll find more shoot to show. In the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah, I mean,
There
if
you
you
go.
have, if people like this, if people don't like this, I liked this. I mean, I'm down to do it again.
How could you not love Hog Wild? Come on, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
open for suggestions.
Let
Whatever
us
you want us to
know.
watch next.
Yeah, and
we'll do it.
I've seen most of these, and they're so bad. If you just point at one in that year, it's bad.
Yeah.
Like it,
So choice.
I've got so many good ones, so many good bad ones.
Yeah, if anybody's listening, you have one in mind, go to our Facebook page, Shoot Show on Facebook, The Shoot Show on Facebook. Like us, follow us, whatever the appropriate kind of means of pursuit on whatever social media site you're on. Check us out on the Shoot Show, or you can email us if you're just classic, want to say some stuff you don't want public.
We won't read it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll read it. I'll read it. If it's mean, I'll probably
Really
cry a little bit, but I'll
Or-
read it.
Yeah, or you can call the Shoot Show hotline.
Yeah, definitely
course.
check out the Shoot Show hotline.
Wait, give the email. We didn't let him give
Yeah,
the
the email is shootshowpod@gmail.com. Yeah,
Wonderful.
definitely send your diatribes. I'm into that kind of thing.
All right, guys. This is fun.
Yep.
I need to
Yeah,
back
everybody,
back to
take it
normal
easy.
next
Thanks for
week.
joining us this week. We'll hit you next time.
Wait, I actually have to watch next week. I have to watch regular wrestling again.
Yep.
We have to
God
watch
damn it.
regular wrestling. again.
Come on. Wait, Joe Dan O'Brien. Never mind.
Yeah, there you go. There you
Not
go.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Just start
Good
about
one.
8:15 next week when we start recording. It'll be cool.
Do it one time. I do it one time.
All right, guys.
Yep. Good talking to you,
Adios.
boys.